So also, as I'm going through my presentation today, it's going to be super informal. We will have time for questions at the end, but I'm also totally fine with anyone asking a question at any point throughout the presentation. So first of all, in our top of the line,
Is it the after party post?
TOTL goes to Spring Fling, Saskatoon 2019, that one. So in that group. And at the top, if you go to albums,
Which group, sorry?
TOTL goes to Spring Fling, Saskatoon 2019. So it's the group, not the event, the group. Okay, so is everybody there? Nope. If there's someone at your table who isn't there and you can see that, please help them. Please help them. Okay, great. I'm so glad, Tammy. It's all about you. Okay, so is everybody there? No?
If you're not there, put up your hand.
Yeah, if you're not there, put up your hand, and someone close to you, please help. Okay, so while we're getting there, maybe I will talk a little bit about myself. Yay! Okay.
If you speak up just a little bit.
Wasn't that
Mic a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even-minded. Yeah. She doesn't have a good outside voice.
I need to. Right. Okay, so if you don't know this, Crystal Tozak is my sister. Second of all, I am not Crystal. Okay? We are not the same.
Not at all.
We're a little bit different.
Melissa,
yes.
Francis is suggesting we use this one.
Okay.
Is this one better?
Yeah.
How's that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, well, you're already further than.
Oh, sorry.
But I just want you to go to TOTL goes to Spring Fling. Take it back. Yes. Okay. So once everyone is in there, at the top of the page, there are some bubbles, chats, photos, events, files, albums. I would like you to go to albums. Okay? And right now, there's only one album in there. I made it yesterday. It says Melissa Jackson's Facebook Party Tips.
You're amazing.
So that's where we're going to be going. Okay, so the first one, so there's a few photos in there, and in each photo there's some comments. This is just how I'm going to run through this presentation. So the first one says, oh my stats. All right, so this is where I'm just going to talk a little bit about who I am, why I do Facebook parties, how I've gotten to be up at the front of the room talking to you about doing this. So we were over the fact that Crystal is my sister. And so I've never sold anything before doing Tupperware. I have a full-time job. I work for the government of Saskatchewan, and I work for the Ministry of Trade and Export Development. I am the Director of Strategic Planning with the ministry. So I work full-time. I have 2 small kids and a husband that also take up a significant amount of time. And for a very long time, I completely resisted doing Tupperware. I didn't want to host a party. I didn't want to sell stuff. I've never sold anything ever. And I was pretty happy in my lane of my job and my regular life. But finally, Crystal broke me down, like she does. And 100% true. And she got me out to a couple of the bingos. So as you can tell, Crystal really loves her bingos. She had a few questions there about it. She's really great at bingo. But I knew from the very beginning that I wasn't going to be able to do the same kinds of things that Crystal could do. I worked full-time. When I first started with Tupperware about 2.5 years ago, my kids were even smaller, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to go. Really? Okay. So like every 2 minutes, I'm going to be changing my Okay. Now it seems like it's not. It's good.
That's the one we have control over.
Okay, alrighty, here we go again. So, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to give the same kinds of time and the same hours of time as other people, I quickly caught on to something, which was Facebook parties. So I could do them in the evenings when I got home from work, when my kids were in bed. I could do them with anybody. I really liked the fact that I could set them up when it worked for my schedule. I could build them on the days that I was able to do it. I could do them for people, even if I didn't know those people really well. I never had to leave my house. And for me in the beginning, that was really, really important. So I started doing a couple, and I learned from another director on Crystal's team, Shauna, who's not here today, but who is amazing and wonderful. And so she got me on to starting Facebook parties. But one thing I will say is that when I started doing them, and I don't know how long it's been, maybe a year and a half, how I do them today and how I did them in the beginning is very, very different. So one of the things about Facebook is that it is going to force us out of our comfort zone. It is going to force us to recognize that if something's not working, we need to try something different. And so that has been very, very big for me. And I'm not a super technical person. My background is not computers. It doesn't have to be. My background, like the thing that is important to Facebook parties is the same stuff that's important to in-house parties. We need to connect with the people who are there. We just have to do it in a different way. So, my stats for Facebook parties now. I do usually 1 or 2 a week. Most of my Facebook parties now end up with sales around $1,000. It's very, very rare for me to not book 2 parties from one party. I have too many parties. I am booked up right now, right through the end of May, close to the end of June. Like maybe I could do 1 or 2 more. But I build them, like I said, around my schedule. If I wanted to do this, I could have one every single day. I could do more than 1 a day, and I've done that a lot. Now I use them to help build my team. Almost every single person on my team is not someone I knew before. I have team members in more and more provinces. Most of the time I'm doing them for people in other places. And now because I'm kind of at capacity, I give parties to my team members and then train them how to do them as well. So, and I've really started doing that a lot more and a lot better because that's how we build, right? Like I don't want to do them all myself. I want to teach other people how to do it so they can carry it forward. And that's why in the last, like probably 6 months for sure, my team has really grown. And it's nice to not have to do it all by yourself. So those are my stats. That's how it's going. So let's move to the next one. What is the next one? How it works. Great. So, like I mentioned before, I've really changed the way that I do the parties. And what I do right now, I call them a 1-hour Tupperware Facebook party, or 1-hour online Facebook party. And when I design the party name, I put in a lot of information in there. So the host name, the date, and the time all go into the title, the name of the party. And it's called a party, like the 1 hour, but really that's not actually true. I set them up a couple of days before. I do a few posts a day, and then I have a party hour that is really the focus, and that is really where I'm sending people. I'm consistently messaging that that is the most important time to be there. The people can pop in and out at any time during the party. You know, I teach them how to search things. I teach them, you know, how to find what they need, but the best way to get the most out of the party is to be there for the 1 hour. So that also appeals to people like me, who, you know, I can't be in there the whole time for a few days, but I can commit to 1 hour. And so I'm really driving people to do that. So it's usually 2 to 3 days before the party day, the day of the party, and then a day or 2 after the party, and that's it. I really like doing parties on Sunday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights, and then I close them the next, so if I have the party on Sunday, I like to close it on Tuesday at noon. That gives me plenty of time to do all of the follow-up and make sure everything gets in and done by Friday, because often sales end on Friday. And there's stragglers, and sometimes hostesses need some work to figure out what they want, as you all know. But Sundays seem to be the best. I can get lots of people on there. Sunday nights are easy. easier for people, Monday nights, Tuesday nights. So building in time. One of the things that I would also like to say about this, how I had mentioned that I really changed things since I've started doing it, the way I do my parties now are very, very intentional. Like I put a lot of thought, not only into the timing of the party, the posts, like the timing of what posts come first, what comes second. I've also spent a lot of time being really intentional and thoughtful about the word choices. We hear about word choices a lot, but I think, like I mentioned before, all kinds of Tupperware parties are about relationships. It's really difficult to build a relationship with someone who you don't know, you can't see, there's no visual cues. So for this reason, the words that we use are even more important. So you need to be really careful about what you say, how you say it, and make sure it really sounds like who you are. And that's hard. Like, it's not easy to do that in a Facebook party. But over time, now I find things that I'm happy with, I'm comfortable with, that seem to be working for me, and then I just keep using them. But if I get feedback from someone that someone doesn't like something or it doesn't work for them, then I change it. And so this is just another good example of how that happens. Does anyone have any questions about how I do the party? Okay, so as an aside, how many people have gone onto the Top of the Line group and looked at the copy and pastes or the copy and paste events? Okay, how many of you have used those? Great, amazing. Okay, how many of you use them consistently? Wow, okay. So I did one 2 weeks ago, but mine was not it wasn't a traditional copy and paste party because I didn't give all of the posts that I used. Who saw that one? Okay, so how do you think it was different? Yeah.
It made you actually take some initiative. So it gave you tips, but you were still making it your own.
Yeah, I was really trying to show not the posts that I use, because we have lots of examples of that, right? There's a new one every week that comes on. I really wanted to give the background, like this is how I do it, this is what I do, at what time, this is what's important to me, and this is what has worked for me. So if after this you want to go in and see any of the host coaching messages, for example, I also tried to add them into this group, some of them, but there's a lot more over there. I gave some examples of games, there's just more information in there. But I would say if you wanted to start doing one of these, to start by looking at the copy and paste event, the groups that are in Top of the Line, to see how other people word their posts, and what pictures do you like? How do you like to see how people represent what they're talking about? How do they use videos? And then the second step would be to go into the event that I made, because there's a lot more detail and tips on how to do things. So, anybody have any questions at this point? So quiet. Like, ask away, it's cool. All right, so the next, on your phone, what is the next grouping? Interaction.
What about effective host coaching? That was first for me. That was before how it works.
Okay. All right, it doesn't matter. We can go through them in whatever order we want. We're the boss. So let's go to, which one would you guys like to go to next? We don't have to listen to Crystal. And then Aussie. What would you like? Okay. In this particular isolated incident, she's right. Don't tell her I said that. But host coaching is the most important thing. I do lots of these parties now. They're really the only kind of party that I do, and I really love them. But I can have 2 parties on the same night. I can do everything exactly the same, and I can have one party be $1,500 in sales and the other party be 0. Okay? So one thing to recognize is that no matter what we do, if our host has not bought in, if she is not doing the things that we ask of her, the party can fail, and that's not your fault. But something else that I've learned is that there are things that will tell us that early on, and it's okay to tell your host, and I did this yesterday. If by a certain point in time you don't have enough people in the party, I am not going to go forward with the party, because it is work for me, and it's not It's not going to be worth it to do it. On the other hand, most of the time now, I would say like 95% of the time, maybe more, that when I give very directive guidance, when I tell them that I'm going to walk them through it every step of the way, I will answer their questions, and I will give them step-by-step instructions on what to do. If they do those things, the party will be successful. So host coaching is the most important thing. It's more important than the words we choose. It's more important than the pictures. It's more important than the timing of what we're doing. Host coaching is the #1 most important thing. So you really have to spend time, just like you do with an in-home party, building your relationship with the host. And it is difficult a little bit because, like, honestly, it has probably been a year since I have done a party with someone I actually know. I do not know my hostesses. It's probably like 6 people away from the person that I knew in the first place. And like, one of the most amazing things about Facebook parties is we don't have to rely on our friends and family. It doesn't matter if every single person on your street is a Tupperware director. You are not in competition because there's an unlimited supply of people that we can find as hostesses anywhere in the whole country. And it's also super amazing that most of the time when I ship the party orders, they go to the host. So I don't even have to pack them up, you know? Like, that is really an effective use of time, right? So it's great, but you have to spend time letting the hostess know that you care about her, that you are building the party for, or him. It happens. It's happened to me like one time. But that you are there for them, that you are like receptive to their ideas, that you will change posts and you will add things in that they want, and that you're consistently talking to them about where things are at and what, like basically asking them, what do you need? How can I help? Okay, so this is really, really important. All right, so, yes,
So how many people did that person have in the group that you decided?
3.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I worked with them for like a day. I gave them a lot of direction and said, this is what I need. You know, I will do all of the work of the party, but you have to get your people in there. If they can't do that after like 24 hours, I'm not going to do it.
So where did your cutoff come from?
That's a great question. I tell people right at the start, and it's in the hostess coaching too, but that's a great question. I'm not saying you should have read that, you shouldn't have. Well, I I give them a higher ballpark to aim for, right? Like, dream big, give people a stretch assignment, and then, you know, they should hit somewhere in the middle. But I really like to have 20. And those 20 should be 20 people that they really know and they've already had some conversations with before the party hour. So when we are building this relationship with the host, we are also influencing them to leverage on the relationships that they have with their friends and family. And Facebook changes. So sometimes an invitation isn't enough. People don't see that they've been invited. So I always tell the host they must make personal contact with every single person they've invited, and that they should do it, they should do it in person, but people don't do that. So the second best option is to send them a text, because I feel like I text people. That's how I have conversations with people. And then the third is Facebook message. And when I send them that instruction of when to do it and how to do it, I also send them like a sample. Here's what you can say. You don't have to use this. Change it to make it sound like you, but here's an example that you can use. I seriously walk them through it. It is so easy to be a Facebook party host. You have to invite your friends and talk to them, and I do everything else. And they get all the rewards. They don't have to clean their house. They don't have to make any food. They don't have to clean up after. They just have to invite their friends and talk to them. So within 24 hours, I can tell if a host is going to do that or not. And if they're not going to, that's why. I'm like, okay, I'll find someone. I'll move to my next person on my list because I have a long list of people who want to be hosts. So I'm not going to this sounds harsh, but I'm busy too. We all are. And if someone is telling me that they're not interested in doing the barest of minimum work, then I'm also not going to do it. So that's a lesson. Okay, so let's go through the hostess coaching. Does anyone have any questions? Is this making sense? Yeah?
What are people's reactions when you say, I'm not gonna do the party for you?
Well, I tell them that we will decide together. Like I say, and this is actually Crystal too. Crystal helps me. Sometimes Crystal helps me. Sometimes I'm harsh and judgmental. I can, no one's perfect. And it's really, really important in Facebook, messaging people that you don't know already, to be really careful about the way you say things. And this has not happened to me often, but when that happened yesterday, I asked Crystal, what do you think about this? How do I say this? And Crystal's really great piece of advice, I can't believe how complimentary I'm being up here. What is happening? Sometimes she's pretty great. And she helps me with that message because she has a lot more experience with in-person hosting, right? So she said, if you frame it that, okay, we're going to leave it to this moment in time, we'll give a timing deadline, and then we will say, together we will decide how we will move forward, then it's shared responsibility, and it's shared acceptance of the decision. So I'm not deciding that I'm not doing it, but she is also recognizing that it's not going to work. So we'll do that together.
But she still had time to fix it.
Yes, she had like 6 hours yesterday to get more than 3 people in, and by 10 o'clock at night, she had 3 people. So we were like, no. And my initial gut reaction was to not be as nice about it. But I worked on my words, and it was okay. Okay, so if we're all in effective host coaching, let's look at comment number 1. So 4 to 5 days before the party, I do a check-in message with the hostess just to remind her about the upcoming party date and to make sure it's still going to work for her. In order to create a Facebook party group, I must be Facebook friends with the hostess. So I always send her a message saying, are we still good to go with this? Please let me know, and if so, I will send you a non-creepy friend request. And they usually laugh, right, and say, okay, great, yes, that works. Or, oh, you know what, this has come up, can we reschedule? And then I'm like, sure. And then I go to my next person on my list and maybe I move forward a date. So then once I hear from her, I set up the group. And setting up the group is really super easy. Like you go into your groups, you click the plus sign to create a new one, you add the name of the group and the hostess. So you have to be friends, yep.
Now you said when you create the name of the group that you put the date posting, so it would be like Melissa Jackson's May 5th 1-hour Facebook party.
Yes.
At the time. What
And the time, 8 to 9 p.m. And now I always put in the title and everywhere in my messaging, 8 to 9 p.m. brackets Sask time, or Ontario time, or BC time, or Alberta time, because, and it's really also a trigger for me to remind myself that when I am scheduling these posts, I need to make sure I'm doing it for the right time zone. Right. Because that's a thing now.
Can I ask why you're choosing a group over a page?
That's a great question. The reason why I choose a group over a page is really because of all of the options and abilities it provides. There's more flexibility, there's more things that I can do within a group that I can't or may not be able to do in a page or an event. Right. So, for example, in a group, I can put an event inside it. And I do this every single time. I put 2 events in. And we'll get to that, but having, I do a lot of things. I do Facebook Live, live videos. I do, the one biggest thing is the event. So I make a group, and then once all of the people have been invited, I create an event within that group. I invite all the people in the group to the event, and then Facebook sends them a reminder. And it's not an annoying reminder from me.
So smart.
It's a reminder from Facebook. And it shows up in their notifications in a way that's different. And it's super easy. It takes 30 seconds to invite everybody. I always do one for the party hour. And I do a reminder event that's last call for orders. So it also reminds them that the party is going to be closing, and it just generates them contacting me. Most orders that I get come directly from the customer or the guest. It's not because I am contacting them. So the way that I set it up, they are getting these reminders, keeping top of mind, and then they get back to me. Yeah, great question. Any more? No? Okay. All right, so once I've set up the party, I send the first message to the host, and that message I have copied and pasted into this event, so you can use it if you want. It says, "Hi, host name, Crystal. Your online Tupperware party is all ready to go. You are welcome to add your friends now. Please try to add those you are closest to and those who would really want to be there with us. If you can aim for at least 30 and no more than 40, this number seems to be best. Thank you. Here is the party link." So the link has to be in there. You have to add that. And then please let me know once you have added your friends. Thank you, me. So this now is directing them what they have to do and putting the responsibility onto them to add their friends. Most of the time, they can go in and do that themselves. They don't need any additional guidance. Sometimes they do. Sometimes I have to show them how to add their friends. And there are a few different ways to do that, kind of depending on the level of the host. I show them, but one of the tricks that I use a lot, and I don't just use it with hosts, I also use it with my team, is the trick to record your screen, and you can send like a quick little 30-second video that walks people step by step through how you do that. Does anybody know how to do that? No. Yes, Chantal? Okay, I think maybe I learned it from you. I learned it from this group, for sure. But so, okay, this is where a big screen would be helpful, but basically I would say to you, go on YouTube and watch how to record your screen.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit different if you have an iPhone. Yeah, on your phone. I can show you. On my phone, I have an iPhone, and so, but you can still do it. There is a way, and it's super easy. Just Google it, or YouTube it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you don't have an iPhone. I'm not an expert. Yes.
I'm gonna suggest that at lunchtime, those people that know how to record on their particular device will organize people to do that together at lunchtime.
Yeah, or even at your table. Yeah. Okay. All right, so then if they don't know how to do it, I send them the video showing them how. And let's see. So then I send check-in messages. You know, I give them some time. Like typically I set up the parties in the evening and I give them that message I just told you about, add your friends, and then I will check in the next morning. But meanwhile, I will start getting the party ready. So at this point, we're at the place where the group is set up. It has the name and the date of the hostess. The hostess has been invited. I add her as an admin to the party, which gives her ability to do some things in the party group as well. And I create like a first welcome post and an announcement post. So the welcome post is just like, hey everybody, thanks for joining us at the party. This is what it's gonna be like. You know, over the next few days, there's gonna be posts. But then the most important hour is from 8 to 9 p.m. Saskatchewan time on this date. Please try to be here then. We're really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like something really quick and easy. And like a really cute picture. Pictures are important. People are visual. Facebook is visual. Use the photos from Top of the Line. There are amazing, amazing resource. We have access to thousands of images. So if you're not confident or comfortable finding and making your own photos, use those. I use them. Like, I do this all the time, and I still rely very heavily on those images because they're such high quality and they're great. Okay, so like as I'm going along, I'm learning how to do more things with photos, but I would still say that, especially starting out, there's no reason to spend a lot of time and energy making your own photos when we have access to these incredible ones. But try to find pictures you like because other people are probably gonna like them too. And try to use videos too that you like. And in the announcement, so at this point I have only 2 posts in the party. The welcome post and the announcement post. Of all of the posts, the announcement post is the most important. It talks about what will the party actually be like. It gives links to the catalog, to the sales flyers, and also to the Tupper Connect link. So all of those are in the very top announcement post. It stays at the top the entire time, so people can find that very easily. As people are starting to get added to the party, I'm watching. I'll send a check-in message to the host saying, this is how many people you have. It's going really great. So it's also, I included that in this group. So it says, like, we need to have some time. We need to spend some energy getting people into the party. Super important. It's not gonna work if we have 3 people. We need to have 20. So, hi host, I see you have begun to invite party guests and this is awesome. Okay, also, every message to the host needs to be super positive. Even if they're doing a crap job, we don't tell them that. We tell them, like, we focus on what is working and what is being done right. And that is the way to drive people to continue doing things right. This also works with your team, it works in life, it sometimes works with husbands. So, yeah. So, you know, if they're doing even a little bit good, we want to highlight that and tell them we appreciate it and keep doing it, keep it up. So all messages to hosts need to be positive and positive reinforcement. So in my example, I said, it looks like there's 9 guests in the party already, amazing. I would love to get to 20 before really getting the post started. Here's the best way to ensure guests know about your party. Send each guest an individual text or message about the party with a party link. I can send you an example you can use to copy and paste. Doing this will greatly increase your chances of getting guests into the party group. Make sure to always send these individually to friends one-on-one, making sure to add their name. This is hugely important to making people feel that the message is just for them. Please let me know if you have any questions. You are doing awesome. Okay? Yeah. And then, right below it, here's a sample message you can use. Crystal. Change anything you like to make it feel more like you. Thanks. Hi friend, I've added you to my online 1-hour Tupperware party this date and time. I thought you might like to see what's new and on sale. These parties are so much fun. It will be quick, easy, and all online. You can even come in your pajamas if you want. For your best shot to win the games, you really need to be online from date and time for the 1 hour, but you can pop in and out anytime. I would love for you to join me. I hope you love it, maybe win a prize, thank you so much. And in this case, my hostess name was Chelsea. And here's the link. So when people get that, it's in their own name, from the name of the host, with the link to the party. All they have to do is click it, go there, accept. Oh, what?
I said, this is what I'm missing in my life.
So nice. Oh, who snorted? I love that. That's best.
I don't know.
All right. So once I'm watching and seeing, like, let's say there's 10 people in the party, then I will start doing a few things, right? I will make a photo album with every image of the catalog, make another photo album with every image in the sale flyer, make another album if there is a 1-week sale. Right now we have our catalog and 2 sales flyers and a 1-week sale. So I have an album individually for each of those. Some people don't like to click on a link and go and look at the online catalog, but they'll go through and look at the pictures individually if they're already there. A lot of people actually like that. So I start doing it, and as they're being added, these things are being added, like as people are coming in, the images are coming in, so they're seeing them right off the start. They might not see it in the announcement, but they'll see as I'm adding photos. And then when I've got, like, let's say 10, 12, 15, kind of depends. Like I'm watching to see what the host is doing to kind of determine when to start the posts. But one of my very, very first posts is a game. And this is probably one of the best examples of how I've really changed things up since I started. So, and this is actually moving us into the next spot on our, I can come back to guest or host coaching and give you some stuff later. But let's move to interaction, because this is where I start talking about games and getting interaction. So it's super important, number one, to build a relationship with the host. It's super important to get a minimum number. There is a critical threshold of people that we want to have in the party. If you have 3, that's not reaching that critical threshold. But then the third thing is, it's really important, once we have people in there, to get them interacting, right? To talk to them. So as people are coming in, our shift is from building the relationship with the host to building the relationship with the guests. So this is also something that's a bit of a challenge because we don't see them. They don't know me. And how do you do that with somebody that you only interact with through a Facebook party? So here is something that I have learned recently and changed. So the first thing is, one of the very early on posts is a game. And in that game, I give very clear direction about how the party guests play the game. So in the past, I used to have a guessing game, and I would get all of the guests to, obviously take a guess. Whoever is closest or whoever gets the right answer first wins. I don't do that anymore. Instead, I tell them that, and each game typically has some secondary purpose too. Again, coming back to being thoughtful. There is a reason why I'm doing this game. There is a reason why I'm doing it right now. So the first game is play the game. You can take as many guesses as you want, as long as you don't guess twice in a row. So one person can interact with that game 20 times, 30 times, that's fine. And as soon as somebody guesses it right, that game is over, and I start a new one very similar to that. That's getting a lot of interaction. So in the past, the maximum number of interactions in a game would be the maximum number of guests in the party. So if there was 20 people, 20 interactions. Now one game could have 300 interactions. And that means every time that that's happening, people are seeing it, and they're getting more excited, and they're interacting with one another. And as people are making guesses, I am interacting with them. And I love gifts. I super, super love gifts.
Oh.
I love them to the point of annoyance to some people.
So annoying.
One person in particular. But I love it. I love to use funny things. I love to, in the first game, not only am I getting them interacting, but I'm also giving a bonus to anybody who adds a guest to the party. Like if you have a friend that you think would like to join, add them in the first game, put their name in there, tag them into that group, and then there's a bonus prize that they can win. So that's the first game. The second game, I do the same thing. It's like guess as many times as you want, just not twice in a row. But the second part of that is the winner has to have indicated something from the catalog that is on their wish list. So when they take a guess, they're telling me, my wish list item is a spiralizer. Awesome. As they do that, I am adding a picture of the spiralizer. Each time someone puts their wish list item in that game, I am adding the photo of what that is. And maybe making a comment about, why is this your wish list item? Why do you want it? Or, I love that too. I love using it for this, for my kid. Or, sharing who I am and encouraging them to share who they are and tell me why they want that, helping to build that relationship. And as I am adding this information on the item with the photo or my story, they're seeing that every time, and people are interacting, then more of them. Or someone saying, oh, you want the fridge smarts? I have those, they're best, I use them for this. So that's where they start really, really getting to the next level of interaction. Yes?
When you're posting the picture, do you post it on their comment?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I tag them.
Not a new post, okay.
Nope. So they have, let's say, there's a picture of a fridge smart with candies in it, and their guess is 227, and their wish list is a spiralizer. Immediately under that, under their comment, so my comment is on their comment, it will bring up their name, it will tag them, and I will put the picture.
Because you click on the reply.
I click on the reply.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you put a picture from the catalog or a real life one?
I put whatever I want. I don't usually use the catalog pictures. I use the better pictures that are from top of the line. Yeah.
Ad or
The
real life?
prettiest. Mhm.
Ad or the real life?
Sorry?
Ads or real life?
Well, I love the ads, but it depends. If 3 people have said the same thing, I'll use 3 different pictures. Yeah. Mhm. Great questions.
You should also say that when you give your game, it's with your order. That's what you
Oh,
post
yes,
out.
right. Thank you, Crystal.
Oh, my
Good. Right.
I've done 5 Facebook parties now.
And who did them?
I have my own.
Okay, so that's also really important, and really part of coming back to this intent, the intention of this. So the winner in the directions for the party game, it will say, take a guess as many times as you want, just not twice in a row. It will give them guidance of what I also want, so add a friend, or if I'm directing them to the catalog, which is on purpose, directing them to go and look at the catalog, look at the album, look at the link, you know, right? I'm sending them where I want them to go. But also, super important, it says, the winner of this game will have a prize added to their order. They cannot win the game if they don't place an order. And when the winner is found, as soon as a person like picks the right number, I will close that game and say a winner, I'll say, congratulations, Crystal, you guessed the right number, way to go, you're so smart. No, I wouldn't. But, way to go, Crystal. And you, well done. This means that a very special prize will be added to your order as a gift. Please let me know when you're ready to place your order. I use that every time. I copy and paste it in there. I just add their name and tag it. And then I lock that game so other people can't guess on it because it's over. I turn off commenting, although that just changed yesterday. So I can't turn off commenting on the game. But it's okay, I tell them, I make a comment and say, some people still guess after it's already over, that's fine. I just tell them, sorry, this game has now ended. I will soon post another. Please search games at the top of the party and it will bring up all of the current games. Yeah. Great question, yes.
Okay, so
Lisa.
I did that, but I said you get your prize if you place an order. Do you have people that say, what's the prize, and they'll only place an order if it's something they want to win?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
what do you say to them?
That's a great question. I always tell them that even I don't know what the prize is, that I will add the prize from my stash when I am packing up their gift, and I really hope they love it. That's what I say. Thanks for asking, great question. I don't know what the prize will be until I pack it up, but I really hope you love it. Yes.
What type of prize do you give?
That's also a great question. Okay, so the prize could be,
Is there any bad?
you're just like the person in the party. The prize is whatever I want the prize to be. I add prizes based on what I have in stock. When I first started, my prizes weren't as awesome. You know, it could be something from the Tiny Treasures. It could be something from Sales Aids. It can be whatever you want it to be. You are giving them something for free. I have never once ever had someone tell me that they hate the free prize that they got. They're happy to get it. They're lucky and they're grateful. Now though, I will say that my prizes are pretty awesome. Like, especially if those, and this is a little bit not as great, but especially if my guests are local, because I'm taking from my own stock and I'm trying to generate more party orders and interest and wanting them to have a party too, so I give them better things. When my parties ship to somewhere else, I buy something that gets sent, like,
That goes with the host order.
that goes with the host order. Yeah. Great question. Anybody else? Okay.
How would you do it if one of the prize winners ordered through Tupper Connect?
That is a great question. I hate that when that happens. Okay, so this also depends. We have options here. When somebody orders through Tupper Connect and they don't live where the hostess lives, it is a challenge if they win a prize. Most of the time, I just give it to the hostess, and like they have a relationship with that person. I sometimes have mailed it. I hate having to do that. So when that happens, I always talk to the winner and say, I would really love to give you your prize, and I will ship it directly to you if you host a party. And they almost always then will host a party themselves to get the added benefit of getting their gift that they won as a prize.
But
Yes.
if somebody doesn't want to do that and they say no, remember that you have your sales aids and you can get your like regional envelopes for way, way, way cheaper than shipping actually costs. And you can stuff that envelope as like,
Yeah.
as long as it will close, like it doesn't get weighed or have to go through any slot or anything. So you can put literally anything in that envelope as long as it will close. And it's way cheaper.
Yeah. Thanks, Crystal.
Regional is like from Manitoba to BC, and then a national label can go, or a national envelope can go anywhere in Canada. It's a little bit more. Same thing with a box label, but that's 5 kg, so you probably
Yes.
need that one.
So, two other things that I've done in the past in that scenario, in general, when people, and I think this is back to what Melissa's talking about in terms of a relationship, in general, when people need to order by Tupper Connect, I do that for them. That's more work for me.
You do
but
their Tupper Connect
I
order?
do their Tupper Connect for them
Okay, I don't do that.
because, two reasons. One, because it forces them to have a conversation with me, so now I've had a relationship with them that's a little different, so I can go back to that conversation later if I need to. The second is, if they win a prize, then I just add it to their Tupper Connect order.
Oh, you
So
pay
I'll
for
buy
it
an
yourself.
extra, so generally when that happens, I'm choosing an extra small water bottle,
Yes, yeah,
and that's just gonna go with the order.
for
But in-
$6.50, right?
Yeah, so in addition, that's the cheapest, one of the cheaper things that you can buy, that's gonna be a good gift that they're gonna enjoy, right? So I do that because then I have the option, and if they give me their order, and then as well, I can see who's ordering from where, right? So feasibly, if somebody was like, I can see that there's 3 people in a different town from the host ordering from Tupper Connect. I know those people now because I can see their addresses before they're ordering to each other, and that's an opportunity for hosting as well.
That is great.
In
Thank you,
addition-
I just learned something.
Mhm.
Well done.
The second thing that I've done before, of course, is to offer the kit as an option. So just as you would in a Big O, the $39 is a free payment. If you're gonna spend the money on a shipping label or an envelope and an actual prize and a time, right, which your time costs something too, to do that, then the $39 may actually be cheaper for you.
So how do you split their credit card and your credit card with Tupper Connect? That's why they want to.
I don't, I ask for an e-transfer.
And if they say no, I only want to use my credit card.
Then, oh, no, then okay. You have to be organized to do this. But as you, which sometimes I'm not, so sometimes people just get free orders and I forget about their credit card totally happens, many times. Don't be me in that situation, get paid. No, but because our My Sales works, so if you don't understand this, let's table it till lunchtime and you can ask me a specific question, but I'll say it and then that's most of it. Because of the way our My Sales works, and you know that we can put whatever amount that we charge when we choose credit card in My Sales. So my next party next week, which is being shipped to me, I will take somebody else's order that paid in cash and put the credit card from last week on that order this week. If you don't understand that, we'll talk about it later because that's gonna open a can of worms.
Okay, so I want to still talk a little bit about interaction. So something else that I always do in every party, and I try to do it at least twice, is a live video. So live videos pop up in people's notifications on Facebook in a way that nothing else does, right? It pops up as you're live. I always try to do them, like for me, I try to do them like on my lunch hour at work, or like as I'm leaving work or almost home before I pick up my kids in the car. And that also does a number of things. It builds the relationship. They can see me and what I look like. And I talk about the name of the host. I know it's awkward and it feels really weird at first, but now it's like no big deal. I do it all the time, like almost every day. And I'm saying almost exactly the same thing too. Like the first live video is just welcoming everyone to the party, thanking them for being there, letting them know that I'm here if they have any questions, to contact me directly, and most of all, thanking the host and letting them know that it's going to be super fun. That's it. It's like 30 seconds. I don't want to watch other people's videos that are 20 minutes long, so I never make mine long. It's like 1 minute max. The second live video that I do is on the day of the party. It's typically that period of time right after I'm done work, so like between 5 and 6, and it's reminding them the party will be in a couple of hours, so it's kind of trying to keep it top of mind, and really giving them instructions about the party. So this is how the party is going to work. It will be from 8 to 9 p.m. Saskatchewan time. Posts are going to come every couple of minutes. Make sure you're on there right on time. There will be an on-time draw. And directing them what to do. So there'll be more games, come in and play them. If you haven't played the games already, a lot of them are gonna end at 7:30 tonight, right before the party. Go ahead and take a look at the albums of the catalog or sales flyers. But when the party is on, you know, make a lot of comments. Use GIFs. Tag your friends. If you see something that you think someone else would like, tag them on it. Play the games. This is your best shot, your best chance to win a prize yourself. And it's a lot of fun. So the more you're in there getting involved, the more fun it will be. I'm really looking forward to it, thanks. Out. Like, be brief, be bright, be gone. Like, get in, get out, be done. You know, like, say what you mean, get out of there. Nobody wants to see that. So, all right, so I already talked about the games. Now the hour of the party. Does anyone have any questions about this? I didn't go into it a lot here. This is where I would say, so for me, I also, like, I time the post. Okay, before the party starts and the days leading up to the party, I always like to kind of like focus on bigger things. I use lots of videos. I focus a lot on premium products, like leading up to the party. I like to use videos of my family using this stuff, like me using this stuff or my family. I always use the Great Master with my 4-year-old, like doing it, and like I like to do that. Some games. I always have a post about the kit. I always frame the kit as a hostess kit. I never sign people up without an obligation to do a party. Like, I don't do activations. Like, I don't do sign-ups. I don't do kit sign-ups without a party. They have to do a party with me. I have to know when it's gonna be. And so every single person that I ever sign up for a kit does a party. And I frame it that way, like this is a hostess kit. The only way you get all this stuff, and I talk about all this stuff, is to do a party. So, and I have a post about that before the party is live, and I have a hostess kit post during the hour of the party, and I have a hostess kit post after the party, which is why in the last year, almost every single host joins, and many people in the party join. I did not used to do that. That's a big change for me too, like a shift.
So how many of your hosts then do you think actually, since they've done that first party, kind of got that out of the way, continue on to?
Well, this becomes their party then, right?
Right, but how, like, do you think they kind of take that then, because now they're comfortable, they've done one, so that's over?
Everybody on my team.
They've done the one, but do they continue doing more?
Well, they now know how. And I will always help them do their second one too, but then it's theirs to go, yeah.
Do you think more people continue on since you kind of made them?
Yes, yes. My entire team is built on Facebook parties. My entire team some people on my team also do home parties, and like they're really good at it, but I would say the majority are Facebook parties, because that's what I know and that's what I can teach them. And that's what I do teach them. So, yeah, great question.
How many people do you have on your team?
How many people do I have on my team? 50.
Ish.
Like
Actives.
50 actives?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I haven't been paid as. I just went to Hawaii. I have a car. I just got it like a month ago. Yeah. I just went to Hawaii 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Pardon? Can you tell with my tan? Yeah, thanks, Crystal.
That's what you love.
Okay, so, right, in the hour of the party, my posts are typically between 3 and 5 minutes. Like, it's pretty active. There's a lot of posts in there, and there's a lot of interaction. I've like set it up so by this point, people are really involved. They know the party's coming. They're in there. They're really talking. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's fast. The on-time draw, the first post, it runs from 8 to 8:15. Then I lock it. Hopefully I can still do that, but I can just make a note for myself that this was the last one at 8:15. Anybody after that, it's over, too late, you missed it. What else? What else do I do in that party hour? Like, mostly that's it. In the party hour, I do try to focus more on a post about what the say yes is, a post about the activation item. The party hour also has more of a focus on things that are on sale. So that party hour is where I have to do more work to keep updating, but I don't do any posts anymore on small items. Like, if I'm gonna post about water bottles, it'll be where there is a set sell. Like most of my posts, I also, like, there's only so much time we have, right? So I am trying to sell the bigger things, which is something I learned from Cora. Like, I don't focus on things that are smaller. Like, people still order that, they can find it themselves, but if I'm going to make a post about something, it is going to be something that is going to be like for a minimum amount of money, too. Yes?
Hey, we have a question here, like, say you do a Facebook party,
Mhm.
the host is not decided yet to sign up.
Right.
So you-
lots of times they don't decide to sign up until days into the party, or even after the party hour. That's a good question.
So now, you've Tupper connected the party under your account.
Yes.
How will you then give her the sales credits to get her?
I hate when that happens. And it happens now a lot to me. I explained to her how it worked because I have talked to her about signing up before the party. You know, I've given her all the information. She's also seen the posts. But I talked to her about that. And there is no way to transfer those Tupper Connected orders. So if someone ordered $200 and then the host decides to sign up for the kit and has her own number, first of all, I don't now have time to even set up a Tupper Connect with that party. It's already happened. It takes 24 hours to set up a Tupper Connect on a new account. So I cannot. There is no way. I've called them. I've talked to Platinum about this. We cannot move that $200 that was Tupper Connected. So that $200 goes under my account because I Tupper Connected it, and it's already in there.
Fix this
I
for 'em.
try, like, I will often try to, well, the best I can do is take my own personal orders and add them to the party to try to make up the difference. But, you know, often I can't do that in the right time when the party order is open. So I'll have to add it later, which means then that the hostess rewards, like if they're at 900 and that $200 meant the difference between being at the 900 level and the 1100 and getting 20% instead of 15 and getting 3 things half price, I can't do anything about it. I just have to explain to her, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. Yeah.
Maybe mention to her, if it's something you're really thinking about, we need to do it before we do
Yes.
the party link.
I do, but they don't know yet, you know? Yeah, for sure. Yes, Melissa.
Can I just like suggest what I do?
Yes.
In that situation, I do not post the Tupper Connect link. I take all the orders, I take their credit card information, I get their address, I do the Tupper Connect, and I don't do it until the party is finished.
That seems like a lot of work. I have some parties that are entirely Tupper Connect orders. Like, I have had parties that are like $1,800 where every single order is Tupper Connected,
Except for 200.
except for 200.
Something that I do, if it's a difference between, so it's $200, you're going from $900 to $1,100. If you actually look at how much the most credit that is, that the host is missing out on, it's usually not much, cost to you. So I usually just give them, the difference. Like, I get them to add their, hostess rewards, and then I pay the $30 or whatever it is on top of that, because I get commission on those $200 that came onto my account anyway.
Then can't you use 100 of your party pool?
She
Yeah,
doesn't
I
know.
know.
There is no party pool.
Not if you're flipping the host.
Great questions. Thank you. Chantel, that was a good idea too.
Do you do live, like demo lives or use lots of videos during your 1 hour party?
I don't usually demo live myself during the 1 hour of the party. I know some people do like to do that. I use I do use videos, and I kind of time them out because I want, like, when they first come in, that on time draw, that's like an interaction post. And then I might do a video right after that, or like a couple of regular posts. And I kind of try to time things out so it's giving people enough time because they're refreshing. Like, that was another thing that I forgot to mention. In the live video that I do on the day of the party, I also direct them. Like, party posts are gonna come fast and furious. Make sure if you're watching this from your computer to refresh your screen often, that you can search. All of the posts are numbered. If you miss something, go up to the top search bar, type in the number you missed, it will bring it up. If you're watching from your phone, like I am all the time, pull your screen down with your finger. Like, some people don't know that stuff. So I do that as well. But no, I don't usually do lives, because usually now, like at 8 o'clock when the party's, like, another thing, I'm not even on there lots of the time. Like, if my kid comes out of bed or I'm like struggling to get kids to bed that night, I have preloaded all of these posts. So it's like 8 o'clock, the first post comes on. There's like a pretty much 50-50 shot that I'm actually there at 8 o'clock because my kid's bedtime is 7:30. And then, like, I do go on as soon as I can to interact in that post because it's an interaction one. but people don't know. They don't know I'm not there because the next post comes on at 8:03. It's preloaded, it looks like I'm there. Then the next one. I used to do SynShare. I no longer do. Now I use Scheduler. I like it. And it's free. Yes.
Can you save your posts anywhere, like if you were doing multiple parties, like?
Great question. Yes, I do. So I have a group that's just for me and Crystal. I let her in it. And yeah, she is so lucky. Yes, she is. And so I keep all of them in there, and then I update them as we go because, as you know, we just had a brand new catalog, and so all of the images had to be updated. So when that happens, that's a little bit more work. But in between, when I do a party, I am like looking at the party that I just did and copying and pasting everything. So I make it one time, and then I use it over and over again until, yeah. Great question. Any others?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
Cora?
this was.
Oh, geez.
I called this.
Okay, bring it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like your sister and I shouldn't be in the group, but no, but seriously, in lieu of that. So you have the albums set up in this Facebook group. Are you, when you go to copy them over, you're now saving them onto your phone?
Always.
So then you go to do the next party, you go back to the group, save them onto your phone again?
Well, I have some things in my phone all the time. So one thing, if you're doing Facebook parties, that I would recommend is getting a bigger phone that has lots of storage. I keep a lot of images in there, especially, for example, the catalog. So, and I make albums in my own phone's photos. So I have all of the catalog in there. So just every time I do a party, I just have to take them off my phone and put them on.
So it's really, I just learned, I'm not techie at all, like the least techie person you probably know. And, right? Trina? Yeah, I gotta send a lot of messages to Cora Tupline Putz. But, a lot. Yeah, sorry. But, I just learned, like, don't just save it in your photos, like I used to do that, and then like this. Make it actual album. So then you just click on, I don't know if it's a little.
Who taught you that? What a great idea.
I don't know. And then you can actually, you can name that album too, so you can name it like
Catalog?
2019, yeah, catalog, or Facebook party posts, or thank you posts, or whatever. And then you can just go directly to that album. And like, I recommend not saying Facebook party posts and like actually breaking it down and putting those pictures. It takes some time, but it's gonna make your life way easier.
Can I earn a challenge, hand my phone to someone and they would do that for me?
Yeah, Trina probably.
Oh, okay. We're really close to the end of the time here, and I want to get through the very last album. So in this album that we're looking at, the last one is called The After Party. I had someone tell me that they think this picture looks like sexy. You're welcome. Right, Adele. Okay, so in the after party, this is where I talk about immediately following the 1 hour party hour or power hour, what I do. And this is really also very important. So right after the party, the first post talks about, so I do 2 after party posts. So I actually break down the party. Before the party and the days leading up, all of those party posts are numbered and they're called pre-party. So pre-party 1 is the first post, and like up to 20, for example, pre. And then the party posts are party number 1. And after the party is called after number 1, 2, 3. So it's easy for people to search and find, because I don't know if you've done Facebook parties before, but as soon as anyone comments on anything, all of the party posts get out of order. So I number them for myself, but also for guests to find them easily. So immediately after the party, like 5 minutes after the party ends, I do the first of 2 posts that night. The first one is how to order. So it has my contact information. Like, so you can look here. When you've made your wish list, feel free to check out the catalog and sales flyer links in the top party announcement post. And you are ready to order, message Melissa, my cell phone number. I'll be online and available to take orders until 9:30 tonight. After that, I'll get back to you tomorrow morning. I am not staying up until midnight after the party, so this tells people that if they message me after that time, I may not get back to them till the next day. I will get back to them, but it might not be immediately. Party shipping is the best deal, it's $3.95. If you would like direct shipping anywhere in Canada, please use this link. I do get people to do it themselves. If they need help, I'll help them, but I don't do it for them. I'm mean. Please message me with any questions or to order. I would love to help. I always say, I would love to help. Like that messaging runs throughout the whole party, always. And then a picture. And then right after that, like 5 minutes after that post, the last post of the night, host a party, choose a cupcake. That party was awesome, so quick, easy, and fun. It's easy when it's full of great people like you. And it would be just as much fun when you host with your own friends. You could help hostess, name, she needs 2 friends to host, plus you would get all the free Tupperware hostess rewards. So I have some great prizes right now to offer to hosts. You can live anywhere in Canada, and online parties work from everywhere. It's super cool. Comment below I'm in with the number you'd like. People pick cupcakes, like every time. I don't know what it is about cupcakes, but this, like I do a post like this and people come to me and want to host. It's so easy. I don't know why, but it's awesome. I also tag every single person. I haven't talked about tags. You like that, Crystal? Yeah. You want a cupcake? Yep, I knew it. So, yes, tagging people in the posts, especially, like don't tag people in every post, but tag people in the posts that are really important. So the after party post with how to order, I tag everybody. And this post about generating hosts, I tag everybody. And then the next morning, sorry, do you want to ask it right now?
Yeah, is there an easier way to tag everybody than just individually, like can you tag all guests somehow?
Okay, yes, you can tag up to 100 people all at once. Do you remember when yes, there is an easier way to do it.
Is there something I can watch to figure it out?
What kind of phone do you have?
Google Pixel.
I don't know how to do it with that.
Ask
I would
Google.
ask Google.
Google. She knows everything.
Yeah. But with my iPhone, like maybe I should do a video on here showing, like I can do that. I can do a quick video showing how to record my screen. Yeah, I can add it. I will add it into this comment group. You can tag up to 100 people in any single post at any time. I do that a lot. I do it in my team page and I do it in Facebook parties. Okay, so the next morning, so there's only 2 things left I want to talk about. The next morning after the party, I individually message every single guest. Every single guest who was in the party. So if 30 people are in the party, I send 30 messages. I copy and paste them, I change their name, and I send them all the exact same thing. And it says something like this. Hi, guest. Thank you so much for being a part of our hostess's online Tupperware party last night. All orders have to be in by tomorrow by noon. Please let me know when you're ready to start your order. If you would like to host a party yourself, now that you've seen how quick and easy they are, or if you have any questions, I would love to help. Melissa. So, and here's a link to the sales flyer. I always add that. Then, following this, over the next day and a half, usually I leave it open till the day after. So if the party was Sunday, it will close at noon on Tuesday. I used to keep them open longer, but I found it doesn't make a difference. That seems to be a pretty good window of time. And so I do update posts as we go. I also do thank you posts. Every time I receive an order, I do an individual post thanking the person who gave me that order, so people can see that people are ordering. But the update post sounds something like this. Party update. So Crystal's party is over $700 in sales. This means she can choose a free thank you gift. She picked the set of 2 Lunch-It containers, so I have a picture of that, the things they can choose. Plus, she will now receive 2 half-price items and over $100 so far in free Tupperware, all for just hosting our little 1-hour online party. But if just 1 more friend signs up to do a party too, yep, it can be online just like this one, Crystal will qualify for 2 of the huge hostess sets pictured. Or sometimes I say she'll qualify for the big hostess set that she loves or she really wants. And if the party reaches $1,100 in sales, the rewards go way up too. Please let me know if you have an order to add or would like to host. Parties need to be booked in this month or next month. Thanks so much, and tag everyone. Every time I do an update, I tag everyone so they see and they're invested in helping their hostess. And then over the 2 days, I am also individually messaging the host to show her where she's at, what level she's at, to get her thinking about what she wants to choose for her half-price items, and help her also be invested in generating more sales. Like, I'm also in those updates with her, directing her to follow up with her people. Because even though I individually messaged everyone, it is 1,000 times more meaningful coming from the person they know and love, their hostess, than it is coming from me, a stranger, right? And online parties, that's even more important. So I'm really trying to build the hostess to be directive of what her responsibilities are and get her engaged in helping herself reach the next level. So that's it. Any questions? It's lunchtime.
That was absolutely amazing training. Did you guys take away notes and have ideas? And I know like several of you put up your hands that you've done Facebook parties or you've used the copy and paste post. Now Melissa's given us some more tools that we can use to make our parties better. Because how many of us think that we're ready to double or triple our results of the Facebook parties we have booked? Yeah? Okay, so I would like to know, those of you who want to share something you learned, we're going to do a draw from those of you who'd like to share something you learned, a takeaway. So bring your notes up here and come on up to the front. You can share with Melissa.